Saxon Algebra 1, Lesson 7. Greetings, my students. This is a nice little two-part algebra lesson. And we're going to start by drawing a number line. Now, I could be going out to the meadow to use my number line ladder that stands in the infinite hole where the worms crawl, but I'm just going to use a more basic number line, conventional. And we know that we often put 0 in the middle. We don't have to. We can look at any part of the number line we want. But today we definitely want to start with 0 in the middle. And what I have done is I've drawn the positive numbers 1, 2, 3 and the negatives 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm sure that it's obvious to you that there's a pattern here, right? Equal distance from the 0, we have 1 and positive 1. And we have 2, negative 2, I didn't say the negative, negative 2 and positive 2, negative 1 and positive 1, negative 3 and positive 3. And we could keep going, right? Every number has a matching number on the, here we go, I'm going to say it, opposite side of 0. And we say that they're opposites of each other. We can say that negative 2 is the opposite of positive 2, or we can say that positive 2 is the opposite of negative 2. All right? And a minus sign is the symbol that we use to show that. So we can say that 2 is the opposite of negative 2. We can say that negative 2 is the opposite of positive 2. I'm not putting the plus sign. And another way that we can say this is like this. Negative 2 is the opposite of positive 2. The negative sign is a way of saying opposite, okay? Another way I could write this is to say negative 2 equals 2, right? The opposite of negative 2 is 2. Negative 2 is the opposite of positive 2. So we can use this minus sign as the word opposite, right? We can use that symbol to mean opposite. What we often see in problems like this, and we're going to practice these, is a situation where we might have several minus signs in front of a number, and we're asked to simplify that, okay? And here's the rule we want to remember. Every 2 minus signs equal a plus sign. Okay, we're going to practice this a lot. But every time we say the opposite of the opposite, we're saying the same number back again. So it makes sense. Trust me, this is right, but at first these words might just sound like garbage in your ears, and I understand that. Here's the way John's going to give us some problems. Copying. These are kind of tedious to copy. Okay, while you finish copying, I'll make sure it's right. Okay. Every 2 minus signs equal a plus sign when they're written back to back, right? So I can't compare this minus sign and that minus sign. I'm talking about like here. Each term we're going to simplify on its own. Okay, so let's start here. The opposite of positive 4 is negative 4. Okay, so we can write that more simply. Here we're saying the opposite of -5. Well, we know that's +5. We also know that I just told you that 2 minuses equal a plus. This one looks nice. This one, again, the opposite of -3 is +3, or 2 minuses make a plus. And this one is just saying -6. There's a plus outside of the parentheses, so we can just take them off and just say it's -6. Okay? Now we're ready to add the like terms. I see 2 negatives, so it's -10, and I see 1, 2, 3 positives, that's 13. So my final answer is 3. Okay, this is the kind of problem we're going to be doing more and more of. They're long and they're a little tedious, but they're kind of fun once you get the hang of it. And we'll be using these skills for all kinds of things later. So everything we're learning in Algebra 1 will build onto something else in Algebra 2 or Advanced Mathematics. So don't worry, you're not wasting your time. Okay. And we're getting these kind of elaborate symbols of inclusion that have all these minus signs. But that's okay, don't let those scare you. All right, double checking. All right, so again, we're gonna evaluate each term. My rule about 2 minuses make a plus only work within that term. We can't combine minus signs across different terms. Hi, Grace, she woke up from her nap. Okay, the opposite of -3 is +3. 2 make a positive. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we have 3 signs. The first 2 make a positive, but then we still have 1 left. So this is going to be -2. So we're saying take -2, find the opposite of that, that's +2, and then find the opposite of that, that's -2. So it makes sense that way as well. And then here, 2 negatives make a positive. All right, and then this becomes, we can do this one in our head pretty easily. 3 minus 2 is 1, plus 3 equals 4. I call that train style. You just go down the train. Okay, a couple more of these. That's a plus. Sometimes my pluses get a little skimpy. Okay, same thing. We're going to look at each term individually. The opposite of -4 is +4. 2 minuses make a plus. This is just -2. And here we have 1, 2, 3 minus signs. So that 2 go together to make a plus. But we still have that one, so it's -6. And we'll do this one train style too. 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 minus 6 is -4. Yay. One more of these and then we switch topics. 7.4. Ready? This one's even longer. Okay. Okay. Once again, we identify our terms. And we go down the line and simplify them as much as we can. Now, here's one thing that sometimes throws students for a loop. Sometimes John throws in a plus sign. It doesn't matter. They don't do anything. Plus signs are just window dressing. You know what I mean? They're just for fun. What are they like? You know what they're like? They're like a garnish. Do you ever go to some restaurants, or maybe you have a grandma or something who likes to cook fancy, and they put garnishes on your plate, like maybe a little parsley or a lemon wedge or something? Plus signs are like those garnishes. You can take them or leave them. If you want to eat them, if you want to squirt the lemon on your crab cakes, go right ahead. You're welcome to do it, right? But if you just want to throw them on the floor or feed them to the dog, that's fine. It doesn't make any difference. It's not really the main part of the meal. That's what the plus signs are like. So this becomes -4. Here we have a pair of minuses that become a plus. When we're counting that, we're only counting minus signs. We don't care if there's a plus sign. So here I can say, oh, there's only one minus sign, so that goes through. Here we know it's +5. This is +5, nothing changes. And then here, again, this plus sign is window dressing. We don't need it. We don't need the parentheses. That's just -6. Yay. Let's do this one where we add all the minuses and add all the pluses. I call that bundling, okay? It's bundling versus trains. Two ways to solve these long strings of numbers. Trains is when you go down and grab each, just keep adding and subtracting as you go. Bundling is when I say, okay, let's do all of the negative numbers and then do all of the positive numbers. And then do one last combination, +3. This is bundling. And this is train style, where I just go down the track. Either one works. I personally find that certain kind of problems make me want to do one or the other. I recommend that you do both of them enough so that you're comfortable and you see the advantages of it, and then just do whatever you like. Oh, guess what? We're done. That's all. That's lesson 7. So go ahead and do all 4 of the practice problems, which are what we've been doing here, and then do the odd numbered problem set problems. Yay! Done with lesson 7. Thank you. Goodbye.